Hey gang, welcome to Homemade Heroes. Today's video features the Companions of the Hall. These are the friends of Drizzt Do'Urden, one of the more famous figures in Forgotten Realms lore. Here you can see the 6 Companions of the Hall all together, and let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures individually. Here you see Catti-Brie, a human fighter, and then eventually she became a wizard. Catti-Brie is the adopted daughter of Bruenor Battlehammer, a fierce dwarven warrior. She became the lover of Wulfgar, another member of the Companions of the Hall, and later in life, the lover of Drizzt Do'Urden. A capable fighter, she was particularly dangerous with the magical bow named Tolmaril, which fired magical arrows. As a more mature adult, she became a wizard, giving up the sword and bow. The minifigure's torso is a really good fit as it has that wide leather belt and is obviously from a classic fantasy type era. In fact, this torso is from a dwarf from the Lord of the Rings series. The legs, you can see there we have some forest green and those brown lower legs, which probably indicate that they are meant to be leather boots of some sort. This is a nice view of the longbow, which comes in quite a number of different sets. And in this case is the legendary bow Tolmaril. Catti-Brie had long auburn hair, and this is a pretty good fit for that. You can see the hair from another angle here, and another view here from a slightly different angle. Meet Regis, or Rumblebelly as he was nicknamed by Bruenor Battlehammer. Regis is a halfling rogue and was originally from the land of Calimshan, a hot, desert-like land in the south of the Sword Coast. Regis's favorite pastimes were eating, napping, and smoking a pipe. But despite a taste for a quiet life, he was a loyal companion, and while not the bravest of the companions, he certainly held his own. On this minifigure you can see the torso. This is Frodo's torso. Regis is carrying a torch for light here. And I think that lighter green cape goes quite well with the hair color. On the minifigure's right side, you can see that I have built a mace, as this was the weapon that Regis typically used. Our third companion of the hall is Wolfgar, who was a human barbarian. Saved from death in battle and then adopted by Bruenor, Wolfgar was a fierce, if callow youth from the barbarian elk tribe of the frozen north. Eventually he wielded Bruenor's seminal creation, the Warhammer Aegisfang. Young lover to Catti-Brie, later in life he left the group to become the chieftain of the Elk clan. There's a fair amount of detail here on the front of this minifigure. You can see on the legs we have the furs that are wrapped around the legs, and the torso has a wide leather belt with a fur of some sort. Wolfgar is usually depicted wearing wolf furs, however this is more like a big cat's furs, a leopard or a cheetah or something like that. In Wolfgar's left hand is the build that I created for Aegisfang. I like the way the Warhammer looks, however the original depictions of Aegisfang are a longer hafted and slightly thinner Warhammer with a slightly hooked end at the back end. I believe the head and hair are from a Marvel Thor minifigure. Next we have Bruenor Battlehammer. Bruenor was a dwarf fighter. He was a gruff and fierce dwarf, but Bruenor had a heart of gold. He was searching continually for his ancestral home, known as Mithril Hall. One of the key characteristics of Bruenor is his fierce orange beard and the horn helmet with one of the horns snapped off. For that, I've used a Viking helmet and simply removed one of the horns, which fits really well for Bruenor's character. In story, Bruenor's shield has a foaming mug of beer on it, which is the emblem of Clan Battlehammer. You can see a cool little ponytail here at the back, the red hair being gathered together down by the waist, and the torso here is another dwarven torso from Lord of the Rings. Nothing too special about this axe, just an axe blade on a brown bar with a 1x1 stud with a hollow top. This is Guenhwyvar. Guenhwyvar was a loyal companion to Drizzt throughout his days, and to the other members of the party too. Guenhwyvar is a magical black panther who lived in the astral plane. She could be summoned through a small onyx statuette and often hunted and fought alongside Drizzt and his friends. While not officially considered to be one of the 5 members of the Companions of the Hall, I like to count her as a key member of the party, as she was almost always with them in one way or the other. This Black Panther figure is from a number of different sets. It can be found in some of the LEGO city-themed sets and is reasonably easy to come by. I love the green eyes here. They're a great feature, and Guenhwyvar is a very cool addition to the companions. Finally, we have Drizzt Do'Urden, a Drow Ranger. Drizzt, as a young man, by elven standards, forsook the evils of his kin in Menzoberranzan, the underground Drow city, and emerged into the area of the Sword Coast known as the North. Drizzt eventually met and befriended the other members of what became known as the Companions of the Hall. I have featured Drizzt before in another video about unusual PC characters, but I have updated him with a new head. There are not many good onyx skin-toned heads in LEGO, and so this one is from the Dreams theme and is a pretty good fit. The only detail that isn't particularly fitting is the scar on the right hand side of the face, but this is easy to overlook. As you can see, the torso here is armored in silver and green, and this is a great fit for Drizzt, who wore mithril mail. It's got a really cool belt with that green gem in the center, and the legs match really well with the torso in this dark forest green color. From the side view, you can see the 2 scimitars that Drizzt uses, Twinkle and Icing Death. Drizzt, like most Drow, has white hair, and this is a great view of that hair spilling down his back, and contrasts well against that forest green cloak. From the other side here, you get a nice look at the shape of the scimitar, and these are a really great sword piece from LEGO. I was really excited when they first came out, as I knew I wanted to build a Drizzt minifigure, and they were just perfect. And here he is again from the front. I just really love that detailing on the front of the torso. Those little chainmail pieces are such a nice detail. And here they are all together again, folks. The Companions of the Hall are a well-known feature of the Sword Coast and the lore of the Forgotten Realms. It's been great to be able to put these together, and these are definitely minifigures that I plan to keep and put on the wall behind me, which is what I do with the minifigures that I plan to keep together for a long period of time. Obviously, I can't do this with all the minifigures I create, as then I wouldn't be able to use them in my games or use them to create other minifigures. Take care and farewell for now.